Norway, famous for its rich natural resources and marine environment, has long been an ideal destination for salmon fishing. Salmon is one of the most important seafood species in Norway, not only for local people but also attracts the attention of international fishermen, including American fishermen. One of the fishing methods commonly used by fishermen is the drag technique, a method that is effective and has existed for centuries. Norwegian salmon is one of the most popular salmon species in the world due to its special taste and high quality. This fish lives mainly in the cold waters of the North Atlantic and the deep fjords inland of Norway, where the marine ecosystem is favorable and the water environment is pure and rich in oxygen. The Norwegian salmon fishing and aquaculture industry plays an important role in the national economy, with modern and sustainable farming methods helping to ensure long-term supplies and protect the marine ecosystem. Dragging is a fishing technique that uses a net that is pulled by a fishing vessel either along the seabed, bottom trawling, or through the intermediate water layer, float trawling. In this method, the trawl is designed to catch auto-diving fish such as salmon as they move with the current. The trawlers have very large equipment and automatic towing systems, which allow for quick release and retrieval of the net. This technique requires expertise in determining the ideal time and location to set the net, as salmon often move with cold currents in deep water. The trawl is a type of triangular net with a net extension. Fishermen often use different types of nets depending on their goals, including the size of the fish and the depth at which they want to catch them. These nets are usually made from nylon or other durable synthetic materials to withstand the pulling force and pressure of the water. Tugboats are often equipped with modern electronic systems to monitor and control the trawling process. Sonar and radar systems help pinpoint the exact location, ensuring that the net is pulled to the highest density area. The role of American fishermen in Norwegian salmon fishing. American fishermen have been involved in Norwegian salmon fishing for decades, mainly through international cooperation programs and the hiring of local fishing vessels. American fishing vessels carry a variety of modern equipment and advanced technology, helping to optimize the fishing process and minimize negative impacts on the environment. The American trawling method combined with the Norwegian technical tradition has created a perfect combination of long-standing experience and modern technology. Therefore, the fishing capacity is significantly increased, while protecting this important marine resource. This is just a brief introduction to the topic. You can continue to develop other sections such as modern equipment and technological support in the fishing process. Complete formulas on the environment and law in fishing in Norway. Fishing in Norway has been around for centuries. Surrounded by one of the richest marine ecosystems in the world, Norway has long been a center of fishing, especially salmon. Salmon in Norway live mainly in the North Atlantic and inland waters, where the cold and oxygen-rich currents are ideal conditions for this species to live and develop. Salmon fishing in Norway is not only associated with the local people but also involves international fishermen. In recent years, with the growing global demand for salmon, fishing vessels from many countries, including the United States, have come to Norway to exploit this resource. During the 20th and early 21st centuries, the fishing industry has developed strongly, with many new technologies and fishing techniques being applied, such as the use of trawl nets. In the early 20th century, salmon fishing techniques relied mainly on traditional methods, such as using hooks or fixed nets. However, with the development of modern technology and increasing commercial demand, the use of trawl nets has become the mainstream method. Trawl nets not only increase productivity but also reduce effort labor of fishermen, while ensuring the sustainability of the exploitation of aquatic resources. Differences between American and Norwegian fishing methods. Although both use trawl nets to catch salmon, American and Norwegian fishermen have different methods and strategies due to the influence of culture, experience, and technology. Norwegian fishermen, with centuries of salmon fishing tradition, have a more cautious approach, often relying on their experience of water currents, seasons, and other natural conditions to decide when and where to fish. In contrast, American fishermen tend to apply more modern technologies to optimize the process. American fishing vessels are often equipped with advanced electronic systems such as radar, sonar, and satellite positioning technology, GPS. These technologies allow him to search for salmon schools with greater accuracy, reducing search time and increasing fishing efficiency. Another difference is the scale of fishing. American fishing vessels are typically larger, with trawl nets capable of collecting fish on a large scale. This allows them to quickly meet demand from the US and international markets. However, large-scale fishing also poses many environmental and marine resource management challenges. Norwegian fishermen, although also using trawl nets, tend to use smaller scales and have a greater focus on sustainability. The Norwegian government has established strict regulations to ensure that salmon fishing does not negatively impact the marine environment and maintains ecological balance. These regulations include limits on the number of fish allowed to be caught, regulations on net size, and requirements to protect other fish from being caught in trawl nets. Modern technology and equipment in salmon fishing. Technology plays an important role in improving the efficiency of the trawl technique in salmon fishing. American fishermen often carry modern equipment, from sonar systems to electronic devices to control the trawling process. Sonar systems are an extremely important device in modern fishing. By using sound waves to determine the location of fish underwater, sonar helps fishermen accurately locate schools of salmon without having to search by traditional observation. In addition to electronic technology, modern American trawlers also use automatic trawling systems. This system allows the trawlers to drag the net at a faster speed and with less labor. Fishermen only need to control it remotely, and the net will be automatically released and pulled up when a signal is detected. Another important aspect of modern fishing technology is the use of new materials in the design of trawling nets. Nylon and other synthetic materials are used to replace traditional nets made from natural fibers. These new nets are not only lighter but also more durable, able to withstand the pressure of water currents and large schools of fish, reducing the risk of the net being torn or damaged. Environmental challenges and resource management. Salmon fishing in Norway, whether by trawling or other methods, faces many environmental and resource management challenges. Norwegian marine ecosystems are an important part of global biodiversity, and overexploitation can have serious consequences for the ecological balance. One of the biggest problems associated with the trawling method is the risk of depleting salmon stocks. Although Norwegian salmon reproduce naturally and are raised on salmon farms, uncontrolled fishing can lead to a decline in wild salmon numbers. The Norwegian government has established strict regulations to protect this resource, including limiting the number of fish that can be caught each season and establishing marine protected areas where fishing is completely prohibited. In addition, trawling can also cause problems with the capture of other fish species besides salmon. During the trawling process, unwanted fish, known as bycatch, are often caught in the nets and killed. This can have negative impacts on other fish species in the ecosystem, including endangered species. Another major challenge is the impact of salmon fishing on the seabed environment. Bottom trawling, where nets are dragged along the seabed, can cause the destruction of coral reefs and other important ecological habitats. These impacts not only affect marine species but also reduce the ability of marine resources to regenerate in the future. To address these challenges, the Norwegian government has adopted a range of resource management measures, including the use of modern surveillance technologies to monitor fishing and the management of marine protected areas. Furthermore, international organizations such as the North Atlantic Fisheries Commission, NAFO, play an important role in coordinating international policies for the protection of marine resources. Norwegian salmon has long been considered one of the highest quality seafood products on the international market, with strict standards for food safety and sustainability. The global salmon market is not only a playground for local Norwegian producers, but also attracts many international partners, including American fishermen and businesses. The participation of American fishermen in the Norwegian salmon industry is not only for commercial purposes, but also an opportunity to access an abundant and quality supply. In recent years, the demand for salmon in the US has increased sharply. Partly due to the nutritional benefits of salmon, such as being rich in omega-3 fatty acids and protein. This has boosted imports of Norwegian salmon into the US market, making salmon one of the country's largest seafood imports. American fishermen often work with Norwegian salmon farming and fishing companies, or they directly send fishing vessels to Norway to participate in the wild salmon fishery. The benefits of this partnership are mutual. American fishermen bring experience and modern fishing technology, while Norwegians provide an ideal environment and abundant resources. International regulations for salmon fishing. Salmon fishing in Norway and the North Atlantic region is closely monitored by several international organizations to ensure the sustainability of this resource. One of the most important is the Northwest Atlantic Fisheries Organization, NAFO, an intergovernmental organization whose goal is to protect and manage fish stocks in the North Atlantic region. NAFO, North Atlantic Fisheries Commission, sets annual catch limits based on scientific assessments of salmon stocks in the North Atlantic, to ensure the sustainability of stocks and prevent overfishing. It also regulates fishing times and areas, and requires member countries to comply with conservation measures for marine resources. This is an important part of the international effort to protect salmon stocks, helping to balance commercial demand and biodiversity conservation. One of the important regulations set by NAFO is the limit on the number of salmon each country can catch. This is a large-scale commercial fishing method, widely used to catch tuna and some other large fish species. Using a very long main fishing line, which can be tens or hundreds of kilometers long. On this main fishing line are attached thousands of branch lines. Each branch line has a hook and bait attached. The fishing line is dropped into the sea and left to drift freely with the ocean currents for a period of time. Then, the fisherman will pull the main fishing line up to harvest the fish. Can catch large quantities of tuna and other fish species. Effective for large-scale fishing. Disadvantages. Swordfish is a large fish, has high commercial value and is often caught in the waters off the coast of the United States. Swordfish heads are often very large and heavy, so American fishermen often use large knives or saws to cut off the fish's heads. The sword tip at the front of the head is carefully cut off because it is very hard and sharp. Cut the fish lengthwise. After cutting off the head, the fisherman will use a large knife to cut the fish lengthwise into large fillets. Swordfish have a hard backbone, so care must be taken when cutting. Filling and packaging. Swordfish meat is often cut into large fillets for easy transportation and consumption. Swordfish meat can be packaged right on the boat or sent to the factory for further processing. These fishing and processing techniques require skills and modern equipment, ensuring the safety of the fishermen as well as the quality of the product. After catching and filleting tuna or swordfish, preservation and transportation are extremely important to keep the fish fresh and ensure quality when it reaches consumers. After tuna is pulled from the sea, it is usually immediately cooled with ice or a deep freeze system on board. The ideal storage temperature for tuna is around -60°C to ensure the fish meat retains its freshness and natural color. The tuna can then be filleted directly on board or kept whole and transported to the processing facility. At ports, tuna are often inspected for quality, measured for size and weight to determine their commercial value. Cold storage to await transport for domestic and international consumption. After being filleted, swordfish are often placed in cold storage or stored on ice to keep the fish meat from spoiling. If the swordfish is caught far from shore, they are frozen to keep it fresh until the ship returns to port. Swordfish are often cut into large pieces or fillets, then packaged and vacuum sealed for better preservation during transport. Frozen or vacuum-sealed swordfish can be transported long distances and consumed in many parts of the world. Transport. Caught fish are transported from ports to processing plants, shops or restaurants in refrigerated trucks, ensuring the right temperature is maintained. process. Tuna and swordfish are major export products of many countries. They are often transported in refrigerated containers on ships or by air to ensure speed and quality. Modern preservation and transportation techniques help maintain the quality of tuna and swordfish, meet food safety standards, and increase commercial value. Standards and regulations in tuna and swordfish fishing. The tuna and swordfish fishing industry in the world, especially in the US, is strictly managed to ensure sustainability and safety for the marine environment. Here are some important standards and regulations. International ocean management organizations, such as the Atlantic Tuna Fisheries Management Organization, ICCAT, set annual catch limits for each fish species to avoid overfishing. Fishermen must strictly comply with these limits to of fish stocks. Tuna and swordfish must be caught at a minimum size to ensure that juveniles have a chance to reproduce and grow, helping to maintain wild fish populations. Fishing vessels in the United States and many other countries are encouraged or required to use equipment that protects marine animals such as seabirds and turtles, and minimizes the negative impacts of long lines and other gear. Many retailers and restaurants now only import and sell tuna and swordfish that are certified sustainable by reputable organizations such as the Marine Stewardship Council, MSC. This certification ensures that the fish is caught from well-managed sources that do not harm the environment. Food safety and sanitation regulations. All fishing vessels and fish processing plants must comply with strict food safety regulations set by agencies such as the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, FDA. The process from catching, processing, preserving and transporting must comply with strict hygiene standards, ensuring that the fish are not contaminated or degraded. Tuna and swordfish shipments are often inspected for quality and chemical residues to ensure consumer safety. Despite strict regulations, controlling overfishing remains a major challenge. Species such as bluefin tuna and swordfish are facing the risk of declining numbers. Climate change is altering the habitat and migration patterns of fish, making fishing more difficult and unpredictable. American and other fishermen face fierce competition from countries with lower costs but less compliance with environmental protection regulations. Innovations such as drone fishing, the use of satellite positioning systems to track fish flows, and improvements in cold storage have helped improve fishing efficiency and preservation. The demand for tuna and swordfish is increasing. Tuna and swordfish are increasingly popular in the international market due to their high quality and good nutritional value, opening up many export opportunities for fishermen. The combination of strict management measures, technological development and environmental protection is an important factor to ensure the sustainable development of the tuna and swordfish fishing industry. New techniques and technologies in tuna and swordfish fishing. Along with the development of the fishing industry, many new These have been applied to improve fishing efficiency, minimize environmental impacts and protect marine species. Fishermen use GPS technology to determine the exact location of tuna and swordfish flows, saving time and reducing fuel consumption. Satellite tracking systems also help fishermen track vessel movements, ensuring fishing complies with international maritime regulations. Sonar and radar are two technologies that help detect and track schools of fish at great depths. Fishermen can use these devices to detect tuna or swordfish as they migrate and gather in deep waters. To reduce the bycatch of non-target animals such as sea turtles, sharks or seabirds, fishing gear manufacturers have developed special nets and lines. For example, using circle hooks instead of J-hooks can help reduce the bycatch of sea turtles. Seabirds are often attracted to bait on long fishing lines and can become entangled. Some fishing vessels use devices such as flags and light scattering lines to scare away seabirds, reducing the risk of injury or death. Many tuna and swordfish fishing vessels are now equipped with electronic monitoring systems, including cameras and sensors, to track their catches. Only helps to comply with fishing regulations, but also helps to manage tuna and swordfish resources more sustainably. Many countries and marine management organizations are building global databases, sharing information on catches, fish migration, and conservation regulations. The use of big data and artificial intelligence, AI, is also being applied to predict and manage fish stocks, helping to adjust fishing plans more effectively. New technologies are continuing to be developed to minimize negative impacts on the environment, ensuring that species are not threatened or depleted due to overfishing. Raising awareness for conservation, the international community and conservation organizations continue to promote awareness campaigns to protect marine fish and other marine animals. The consumption of tuna and swordfish from sustainable sources is increasingly encouraged. Biotechnology can be used to study helping to protect their valuable genetic resources. This not only helps to maintain tuna stocks, but also ensures the biodiversity of marine ecosystems. Has grown rapidly, with many tuna farms springing up in countries such as Japan, Mexico, and Australia. Modern farming technology helps raise tuna from larvae to adulthood, contributing to reducing pressure on wild fishing and conserving marine resources. Consumers are increasingly concerned about product sustainability, so demand for tuna and swordfish from sustainable sources will continue to increase. Demand for tuna and swordfish, especially in Asian, European, and American markets, continues to increase. This brings great growth opportunities for fishermen and businesses in the industry. The tuna and swordfish fishing industry has grown strongly over the past decades thanks to the application of advanced environmental protection regulations. However, to maintain sustainable development in the future, a combination of technology, management regulations, and conservation awareness is extremely necessary. The tuna and swordfish industry faces a number of significant environmental challenges that must be addressed to ensure sustainability. Here are some of the major challenges. Overfishing is a serious problem affecting many tuna and swordfish species, especially high-value species such as bluefin tuna. When fish numbers fall below safe levels, it makes it difficult for fish populations to recover naturally, affecting biodiversity and the balance of marine ecosystems. Natural limitations to reproduction. Tuna and swordfish species have long spawning periods and do not reproduce much, so natural recovery is slow. If fishing is not controlled, fish populations are at risk of serious decline. One of the biggest problems with longline fishing is the bycatch of non-target species such as sea turtles, sharks, seabirds, and endangered fish species. Bycatch not only causes economic damage but also seriously threatens the survival of important marine species. Damage the seabed and the habitat of many marine species. Climate change increases sea temperatures, changing the migration and spawning patterns of tuna and swordfish. This affects the location and number of fish schools, making it more difficult to predict and monitor. Plastic waste and chemicals in the ocean not only pollute the environment but can also affect the quality of fish when consumed. Pollution also directly harms marine species, threatening the survival of tuna and swordfish species. Marine ecosystems such as coral reefs and mangroves provide habitat for many tuna and swordfish species. However, they are seriously threatened by human activities, including marine exploitation, industrial development and tourism. To address these challenges, the tuna and swordfish fishing industry has adopted a number of conservation measures to maintain a balance between production and environmental protection. Many countries and international organizations have adopted catch quotas, limiting the number of tuna and swordfish that can be caught each year to protect fish populations. Establishing marine protected areas, MPAs. Areas are established to restrict or completely ban fishing activities, allowing fish populations to recover naturally. Using environmentally friendly fishing gear such as circle hooks, diffusers, or devices that reduce the bycatch of non-target marine species. Many research and education programs are implemented to raise awareness among fishermen and the community about the importance of conserving marine resources. Collaboration between research organizations, governments, and fishing communities plays an important role in protecting the marine environment. Consumers also have a big role to play in promoting sustainable fishing. When consumers choose to buy products from sustainable sources such as those certified by the Marine Stewardship Council, MSC, they are contributing to the conservation of marine resources. Many consumers now demand to know the origin of the tuna and swordfish they consume, from the catch, processing to the transport. This increases the pressure on producers to comply with sustainability standards. Conclusion: the tuna and swordfish fisheries are facing significant environmental and conservation challenges. However, with the development of technology, strict management and awareness of protecting marine resources, the industry can develop sustainably and Protecting marine ecosystems. International policies and initiatives to protect tuna and swordfish. International policies and initiatives play an important role in protecting tuna and swordfish species, ensuring the sustainable development of the fishing industry. Here are some notable examples. ICCAT is the international organization that manages tuna and other fish catches in the Atlantic Ocean. ICCAT sets regulations on catch limits, minimum sizes, and conservation methods to maintain tuna and other fish populations.